channel. Today we are going to make my famous chicken noodle soup. Just kidding, it's not famous. Well, I guess it's famous in this house. Maybe it'll be famous in yours after this. Ah! Anyway, let's go for it. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to make homemade cream of chicken. This is fairly easy, fairly cut and dry. The first thing you do is you melt 2 tablespoons of butter in a small saucepan. All right, once that's melted, you add 2 tablespoons of gluten-free flour. I use Measure for Measure, which is a different gluten-free flour from what I use with my little biscuits. And once that's kind of worked in and incorporated together, we add our chicken broth. Stir it until it's smooth. And then the last stage is heavy cream. And you mix that together. And a little salt, a little bit of pepper, and you basically just stir until it becomes extremely thick, like canned condensed soup. I started making this because canned condensed soup are full of gluten. This is a recipe I found on Pinterest. It's slightly modified from hers, but I'll look it up and put it in the comments. So we've been stirring continuously. It's starting to boil, and as you can see, it is now very thick. And that's what we're looking for. So now we are going to turn the heat off and set that aside. We are melting a little bit more butter, and this is our big soup pot. This is what we're going to be making our soup in. Once we get that all melted down, we're going to add our onion to the pot. In they go, and we're just going to kind of saute those, kind of release the flavor of that onion a little bit. Give that a little stir, and when that timer goes off, we're gonna add everything except for the peas and the noodles. Those go in close to the end of cooking because otherwise they'll just bleh. Nobody likes bleh, peas and noodles, right? So we'll add our potatoes next, and then we'll add our chicken. Give all that a stir, and then we'll take our cream of chicken soup. Kind of stir things in between each ingredient. Now I'm going to take a 2-cup measuring cup. I used up the last of my homemade chicken broth. Now I am doing boxed chicken broth, but it's still very good, and it is gluten-free also. This is Pacific Foods gluten-free chicken broth. It's clean as a whistle if you don't have time to make your own. And then we'll add our spices. We have a bay leaf, celery seed, thyme, salt, and pepper. Add all those in. Turn our heat up just a skosh. All right, so now we just wait for it to boil, which it should do so fairly quickly. And what I like to do while this is coming to a boil is I mix up a batch of gluten-free cornbread. This is just the Kroger Simple Truth organic gluten-free cornbread mix. It is the bomb. It's so delicious. It's like eating cake. I mean, literally you could put chocolate icing on top and just go to town on your birthday with this stuff. So we're waiting on this to boil. Once it does, we are going to cover it, turn it down a skosh to like a low medium, and we'll let it simmer like that for 30 to 40 minutes until the chicken isn't pink anymore. And then at that point, I'll come back and we'll talk about what to do next. Okay, so during the last minute, you're gonna take off the lid and stir it up. You should have had it on a simmer at this point. So you're just gonna raise it to medium and get it really kind of boiling again. And then you add your spaghetti noodles. I use Barilla gluten-free. They're the best tasting, I think. And I usually do about 4 ounces. I like to kind of break them up a little bit. Okay. Give it a stir. Turn it up a little bit higher, get it really boiling. I'm going to do half a bag of frozen peas. If you don't feel like you have enough liquid after you've added your noodles, you can add some more. So I'm going to do anything to it except add a little bit more make it a little bit more soupy. It is soup. This isn't a stew. So and if I do add liquid, I just eyeball it and then I add heat to get it going again. So at this point, you'll want it to start boiling again, and you'll let it cook for about another 10 minutes, just enough to make your noodles tender. And that is it. Otherwise, serve it up and enjoy.